Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time.
Hi, I'm Amanda,
And I'm Nikki,
and welcome to Working Mom's Wine, where we drink a bottle of wine.
and whine about our crazy, busy, stressful working mom lives while trying to have some fun along the way and maybe provide some resources to help.
That's right. And today I am drinking Bada Box.
What?
I
That's my
stole
jam, girl.
Nikki's
What you
wine.
doing?
So Brandon won wine at work, and that's what he got. But I didn't put it in a wine glass. I was looking at glasses, and this one says civilization is overrated, and I'm just feeling that right now. So I was like, we're going to use this glass.
It's very true. I have my
Oh,
Joy to
nice.
the World, the wine is here Christmas cup.
Have you
And I'm wearing
located
my
your...
I hope this
Okay,
wine
cool.
is not a figment of my imagination shirt.
I was unpacking Christmas things and I found my I'm dreaming of a wine Christmas shirt. So we need to make
Ooh.
sure that we pull those out and pop those on at some point.
Yes, I have mine in the closet.
So what we're doing for today is part 3 of Dating After the End of the World by Geneva
Mm-hmm.
Rose. So we're doing chapters 21 through 30. If you haven't read that, feel free to read that section before coming back. Feel free to leave any discussion you would like to in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
To recap so far, zombies, everything has gone to crap. Casey's, excuse me, Casey's dad made them build a bunker when she was a child, and after her fiance abandons her to a bunch of people that were going to murder her, she fought her way out, went to her dad's compound, only to find that an arch nemesis from her childhood is now besties with her dad, and they have to figure out how to live together while also collecting supplies and protecting people. And weird things are happening, like finding a bus full of zombies really close to the encampment, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I might sneeze.
Good times.
She's still doing her walk around the property line, and she's hearing noises, and it is a possum? Yes, it is a possum, but then Blake is also waiting, and he ambushes her to, like, teach her a lesson. And she's all like, listen, zombies don't do sneak attacks. Like, you know the zombies are coming. So there's another flashback to her and
Mm-hmm.
Blake, and I think she makes a comment about how if, like, in a way, they both had traumatic events, and basically, Blake chose to go down the path of villain while she chose to go down the path of hero.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
during the flashback, they're at a party at Blake's house. He gets a phone call. It's obviously bad news, and then he starts treating her bad. So that's the whole. This is why Blake sucks, because basically, yes, he is an ex. Like, they start getting close to each other. He's been nice to her all year, and then at this party, he, like, goes back to his old self after he gets whatever this bad news is. After he jumped her, they started, like, exchanging jabs, and then the whole sexual tension got to be too much, and they started making out. And then she has the flashback, remembers what he did to her, and she's just like, nope, stop making out with me.
Yeah.
And then in the next
I like the push and pull
chapter,
of the two of them, but I felt like every time they came together, it was like in the cheesiest, like ickiest way. And I was like, girl, no, what are you,
yes,
what?
yes, like, even if we're gonna do it, I'm sorry, I don't feel like it was written well. And
Can it be like
I
a slow
never once,
burn and not a instant
yeah,
weird? I don't know.
I never once felt like I was rooting for Blake. Never once. And if these things are done right, you should start to empathize with that other character. But even after everything gets explained later, I'm just like, nah, don't care.
Really? I did kind of
Yeah,
like
maybe
him, but maybe that
my
was more of
cold
like in
frozen heart.
comparison to Nate.
Well, that's not much of a
And
comparison.
I hated Nate from the beginning, so
Hmm.
like, this guy's a
So,
douchebag.
yeah. So in the next chapter, Casey, it's like the next day, and Casey's in a
Hmm.
mood. And through the conversation, she decides to just tell Molly, who's already being annoying again, that Greg was never
Yeah,
into her and she was meant to be a one night stand. And she's like, she needs to
that
know the
was rough.
truth. I know.
Like,
Oh my
no, she
gosh.
doesn't,
And then I
girl.
said, so Blake comes back from a supply run and he's got Sour Patch Kids, which were Casey's favorite candies, still are, I guess. But of course, she tries to deny that and she won't accept his gift. But my note is Blake tries to Sour Patch things up.
That's great.
And then,
My whole thought
so
during that was just take the candy, girl. There's not a lot of candy right now. Just take it. Enjoy it.
I know.
Tell him he
Like,
was
I don't
wrong,
care
but
if
you'll
it's
eat it anyway and then enjoy it.
right. It could be my literal worst enemy, and I'd be like, I'm taking that candy.
Mm-hmm.
I have no principles. Just kidding. Casey's told Molly the truth, and Molly runs out. What, Dinah? I heard that.
She's acting like she's got to go out, but she was just outside, so I don't know what her deal is.
So Molly runs out of the room, and then a little later, you hear a big crash. But it wasn't
Yes.
Molly, it was Elaine in the bathroom, we find out in the next chapter.
Right.
So Elaine is diabetic. She's been rationing her insulin and not telling anybody.
It's like my
And then
worst
there's,
nightmare during something like
yeah,
that. Like, oh, you're on some life dependent medication and suddenly you
right,
can't have it.
right, exactly. So she crashes out in the bathroom and they um, figure things out. And of course, Casey's like, we've got to go get her some insulin.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone doesn't
Casey's a
really,
medical professional. She was like in
yes,
residency to be a doctor. So she
right,
immediately knew like what was up.
yeah.
And she was like,
And
why didn't you tell us? And Elaine was like, I didn't want to be a burden.
yeah. And of course, Casey doesn't want to let Elaine die because Elaine's like really important to her. So
Yeah.
there's some people that don't want to go to the hospital because it's obviously like breeding grounds for the whole zombie thing, and there's lots of
Mm-hmm.
zombies in the hospitals. But she's like, if we don't go, we basically are telling her she's dead. And if we do
Mm-hmm.
go, we can at least extend her life and hopefully continue to find supplies of insulin. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so eventually, they draw straws on who's going to go to the hospital, and Casey, Blake, Greg, and JJ
Shocker.
go. I know. Is it just the four of them? Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah. Just the four of
So,
them. And they go in and they wind up splitting up into
yes.
groups of two.
And
And
imagine
shocker,
this.
shocker.
Casey ends up with Blake. um Oh, but this time what's different is Blake actually, when Casey wants to go and her dad says no, Blake's like, no, I think she should go. So he's starting to like change in his opinion of Casey.
He like
Um,
recognizes like, okay, she's the medical professional. This is her hospital.
right,
She'll know where stuff is
right.
at. And it's a good thing too because none of them thought about like how to get into the locked area and like she automatically knew, what
Mm-hmm.
to do and
Yeah,
where
like she
everything
took
would
a
be
badge
and
from a doctor, and Blake was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, we might, if the generator's still on, we might have to get past a secure door." And then when
mm-hmm.
she's getting up to the place where they hold the insulin, she's like, "I'm hoping it's still cooled," and it was. So
Mm-hmm.
she had a lot of necessary information.
Yeah.
But then, let me see.
So they split up. Greg and JJ go to
Yeah,
the cafeteria to see if there's food supplies.
that's right.
And
Oh,
then
also,
Casey and
there's a really
Blake
funny
go
moment
looking for
where
the
Greg
meds.
throws up into a body. Sorry,
Where
I think we're
he
lagging.
did what?
There's a really funny moment where Greg throws up into a dead body.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Ew.
Very ew. So yes,
Gross.
they're going to the cafeteria. Blake and Casey are getting the insulin, at some point, Casey's in there getting the insulin and loses track of
Blake is
Blake.
supposed to
And then
be
when
like
she
guarding the
finds,
door, and she comes
that's
out
what it
and
was.
he's not there. And she's like, Blake,
Yeah.
Blake, where are you?
Yeah. It's like
And where
Nate
does she find
flashbacks.
him? Yeah. She finds him frozen in a doorway, staring at a zombie that is like stuttering towards him, and he's just standing there.
Yeah.
And she's yelling at him, she's shaking him, she's doing all the things. I think she even kissed him or something to like try to snap him out of it,
Yes,
if I
she
remember
did.
right.
Yeah.
And he's like
Oh,
PTSD, full gone, not there.
so yeah, he's frozen.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're going to talk about the explanation for this later, but I found this part a little unbelievable no matter what the explanation was because of his background. And I know that like he kind of talks about a reason why it might not be that unbelievable, but I don't know. He I was assuming something else was at work here.
I believed it. I mean, PTSD can be very intense. Something
Yeah.
can remind
And that's
you,
true.
and then you're back in that memory and you're frozen and you're like stuck in the memory.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh,
Nothing else had triggered that for him, and he's been in zombie warland for a while, so I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. So he's that standing there frozen and he's stands there like that until he gets bitten.
Yes.
And then Casey
Dun dun
basically
dun.
Casey convinces him
Sorry,
to
mean.
not give up yet. Eh. Casey convinces him to not give up yet. They both escape the hospital, and of course, she has to use her shirt to make a lasso to get them down an elevator shaft. And I think in a movie this would be a really comedic moment, but I don't know if it hit the same in the book because they meet up with Greg and JJ and they're like, "Why's your shirt off?" You know, and it's because she had to get them down the elevator. But since she was alone with Blake, they're like making fun of her and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Yeah.
so
I won't
on
lie,
the
that was
drive
a bit of
back,
an eye roll for me.
yeah, on the way back,
I'm like, come
Blake
on.
tries to jump out of the car twice. She pulls him back in or
Mm-hmm.
convinces him not to do it.
Because he's been
And
bitten and he's just like
immediately,
convinced that he's going to turn into a zombie. And like, she's like,
right,
no, I told you guys, not everybody does. We need to wait and see it. We'll put
right,
you in a safe spot and see what happens.
right. And the other thing that was kind of eye roll for me at this point is as soon as he gets bit, she's immediately like regretful about how she's been talking to him and treating him and all this other stuff. And maybe that's just because I'm a petty person. But I don't think I'd immediately be like, "Oh, I
Are
regret
you a petty
everything I
Betty?
ever did or said." Yeah, a petty Betty. I like it. That'll be the PC version. I'm a petty Betty. So they get back to the camp, and there's been an attack on the camp. Um, there's smoke burning. They see a body on the ground. All this other stuff, and then they talk to Casey's dad. Everything's under control again, but basically, not long after they left, some burners showed up. And of course,
Mhm.
everyone's like, this is obviously suspicious because they knew you were leaving and then they showed up.
Mhm.
Um, and then Casey's dad kind of picks up that something is off, finds out that Blake got bit, but Blake lies about why he got bit. And Casey lets him do it because Blake's all like, I was protecting Casey. I'd be like, no, you weren't.
No, I
All
did
the
not need
crap
your
you've
protection.
given
And in
me,
fact, I was trying to protect you.
exactly. All the crap you've given me up until this point, I am not going to let you get away with this lie.
Right. It's crazy.
Mm-mm. So,
There's a little bit too much from Casey about, like, she has a lot of feminist girl power thoughts, but they don't
mhm,
become her actions, which
yes,
drove me a little nuts.
yes, I agree. Um, so then we find out that the reason Blake froze up was the biter zombie that was there was another Navy SEAL friend of his, and they've been through a lot together. They've saved each other's lives multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was they had been hanging out and drinking, and then his buddy felt like terrible the next day. Blake chalks it up to a hangover, takes him to the hospital, and then all heck breaks loose because that was when the zombie thing hit and his friend
Mm-hmm.
was already infected with the virus, basically.
Right.
So that's why he also got mad when Casey explained that not everyone turns into a normal zombie, because his first thought was, oh my gosh, maybe my friend could have lived.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wasn't necessarily going to become a biter.
Right.
But now he knows he is. So
And now he's
then they
freaking out
start,
that he's gonna be one.
yes, yeah. And then they start talking about the bus full of zombies again, because Casey had this thought. Of course, they put Blake in confinement. Like, they put him in a makeshift jail cell to watch what
Mm-hmm.
happens. But when she describes the breakfast that they eat, because Blake gets to eat whatever he wants, it was
Yeah,
disgusting.
it's like his
They're just
last
having,
meal.
yeah, they're having bacon, eggs, and toast. But the description,
Wasn't it just like an egg over easy, like running into the bread? That's yummy.
well, before you know what they're talking about, it just says, my teeth clamp down, ripping through the perfectly crisp yet tender flesh. Golden liquid
Oh.
trapped in the embryotic dome erupts in my mouth, dribbling down my chin. I was like, ew. Um, okay, let me see where she figures out the bus thing. Okay, so he was already in the cage when he talked about his Navy SEAL buddy. Hold on one second. Okay, so yes, he did say that his friend lost his memories. So Casey is thinking, okay, it's confirmed that his friend was a gnome, someone that lost their memory. But when they see him in the hospital, he's a biter. So her theory
Right.
her theory is that what if the first time you're bit and you become a gnome, the second time you're bit, the virus overwhelms you so much that you become a biter. So he could
Okay.
have been a gnome in the beginning, gotten bitten again, and instead of being like eaten or whatever, it turned him into a biter. And that's why the bus becomes a big deal, because the bus, she extrapolates that basically someone must have had a bus full of gnomes, knowing that when they got them to their destination, they could turn them into biters by having another zombie bite them.
Right.
So she's like, I don't know if it's for free labor or if they're wanting an army or what, but obviously they were transporting gnomes on purpose in the hopes of turning them into biters when they wanted to use them as biters.
That's interesting.
Oh, and then Blake hits the first milestone where, like, if he's going to become a gnome, it's going to happen. And I knew he was going to fake that. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
you did too. But he pretends that he loses all his
He
memories and
pretends that
Casey
it's
gets pissed
happened.
at him again. Yeah. I was like, come on. I'm a little disappointed that he didn't turn into a gnome. Um, so Casey tells everybody that he's past the first stage of waiting, but he's still a jerk, basically.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to check on Elaine, who's all like, "Oh, you saved my life," and she's like, "You saved mine first," because she was like her mom figure when she needed it. Um, and then obviously at this point, everyone realizes that like they need to beef up security more. So they're talking about like getting an electrical fence ready and doing all these other things. So they go to start like making those preparations, and then Greg proposes to Molly. He asks for her to be his forever one night stand, and she falls for it hook, line, and sinker. And he uses a ring that he got off the dead doctor that he threw up into the body of. Yeah. Greg's just such a stand up guy.
I mean, I guess there's
And
not
then,
probably, excuse me, probably not a ton of options at that point,
correct. But it's
but
just like, you start to
it's
notice that
gross.
he's pretty much as dumb as Molly is, and they're kind of perfect for each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just really funny. He's all like, they're like, "Where'd you get that rock?" And he's like, "Off this dead doctor." And she's like, "After you threw up in his body?"
Ugh.
Yeah.
So gross.
Um, in chapter
So,
29, we find out more about that last flashback. Um, and basically, Blake's dad was abusive and an alcoholic, and Blake had gotten a call that his dad had basically fallen off the wagon again. And he immediately just assumes that, like, eventually one day he's going to be doing these things to Casey if they stay together, and that's why he's mean to her, because he wants her to hate him, and he's purposefully pushing her away.
yeah.
So he opens up to Casey about all of that, because he's still, like, in the cage. He thinks maybe any moment now he's going to become a zombie. He's doing this whole, like, deathbed
Confessional.
regrets. Yeah, I need to get your forgiveness thing.
Yeah.
Um, Turns out he doesn't turn into a zombie. The most disappointing moment in the entire book, in my opinion. Not only
Nah.
does he
The
not,
most disappointing moment is coming.
is the next one, when
Maybe
they
next one
decide
or
to
two.
consummate things.
No. To me, the most disappointing moment is what happens right after that.
Okay, so he finds out he's in the clear. She lets him out of the
Yes.
cage. They decide that they're finally gonna let, what's the
Fates
word I'm looking for?
collide.
Yeah, let fates collide. They decide that they're finally gonna do it with each other. And my only thought during this entire section of her describing what they're doing to each other is, "Casey, you're an idiot, and I hope he turns into a zombie in the middle of it and bites you again."
Man, you did not
And it,
like him.
no, I didn't. And it would have been just, like the perfect lesson to Casey if she would just, die. But, of course, everything's fine. And in the next chapter, Tessa comes downstairs to check on them and relieve Casey of her shift, finds that they have both obviously slept together. She freaks out. She makes some sleeping with the enemy jokes. It's really great. Um, but Tessa has some news, because Nate,
This was the most disappointing part for me.
yes, Nate has found his way to the compound. This is not only disappointing, there are other things I want to say about what makes this disappointing, but it's going to have to wait till next time, because this is the end of
It's
section
so
3.
frustrating that her and Blake finally get together and then he shows up. Like,
I know.
really, like, literally the second after.
Right.
But
It's
also,
immediate.
yeah, I was like, for some reason, I had the impression that she never told him where the place actually was. And
I
so
didn't think she
when
did
he showed
either.
up, I was like, how did he figure that out? Like, I thought she said that she tried to, like, withhold it from him and even told him, like, a
Yeah.
different state it was in or something. But I don't know. I heard he was there and I was like, really?
The book definitely makes it sound like she was not forthcoming enough that he would know where it was.
Mm-hmm.
But
Here we
there is
are.
a possibility that, like, conversation that was purposefully left out, like, assumed conversation was purposefully left out.
Yeah.
But also, it does take him a good amount of time to get there, to show up. So it could be literally that he just, like, had an idea and they were kind of scouting things out.
Yeah.
Or he was kind of scouting things out, or trying to figure out exactly where it was, or whatever. So, but that is all for section 3. Definitely let us know what you think in the comments. Try not to spill your comments over into section 4 if you've already read through the end of the book, because we are going to be discussing that next week. And by next week, I mean
Yep.
later tonight, because we're definitely double recording again.
See you
And
in
as
2 minutes.
always, that's right. As always, you can find us on all the socials as Working Moms Whine. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.